vendor account group. So this is ECC at ECC level. So vendor master data controlled by vendor account group. This vendor account group control functions like number ranges, field selection. Okay. Type of vendors can be internal, where you get the supplies from your internal company codes or internal plants. Okay, so when you get the material, source of material, from where you're getting it, there might be chances you also get it from your own company codes, intercompany codes, and from your own plants within your company code. Okay, which means your vendor, your supplier can be internal and external. You know that most of our vendors externally supplies, they are not related to our company or company codes, so but they are a different company and they supply, and those supplies called as external vendors. Okay, and one more is regular vendor. So this vendor mainly, client level to entire corporate group he will supply. Okay, this you can configure, or this you can set in purchase info record. Okay, purchase info record. And there is one more type, fixed vendor, and which means you are fixing one vendor for one material, right? This you have control at source list. And you have one more vendor type like one time vendor, where you have business transaction with this vendor only once. Okay, and now when it comes to S4HANA, so we have concept called BP, business partner. So within the business partner you can have vendor, customer, and employee. If it is in ECC, I'll show you in the system. In ECC, go to mainly for vendor creation, XK01 is the transaction code. In this transaction code you will see vendor and its number assignment, company code data, purchasing, organization data, and account group. As we discussed, this account group defines the number range and the fields inside this vendor, right? So maintain the fields inside those vendor account group, which is mandatory, which is optional, like that. And for example, if I give one company code and purchase organization, so these are the fields, right? These are the fields will be controlled using vendor account group. So here if you want to in ECC restrict purchase organization team from company code data view, so SAP has given in ECC, that is /n EFK01, where you have only visibility to the company code data. Okay, if you hit enter, you will only see this is general data address tab. If I hit enter, I just have to maintain some name. So I go to, and then payment transactions, and then contact persons, and then directly accounting information, right? Here you will maintain your reconciliation account, whatever it is mandatory. So but if you want to maintain, if you want to have a view only for purchase organization team, then there is another T code, that is EMK01 /n MK01. Here if you see, only purchase organization data is available, there is no company code data. So if I go inside again, if I maintain this mandatory fields, you will see, go to control and then contact person, and then directly goes to purchasing data, not company code data, right? So but in XK01, so if you understand vendor, right, vendor, you are trying to get the supplies from this vendor. So there is a company code, which is a finance team who's involved for making payments, receiving payments, or related information like their GST number, their bank details, and all the details of company code data of finance related information. When it comes to purchase organization, so this purchase organization will negotiate terms and conditions with this vendor. So you agree with delivery dates, you agree with payment terms, you agree with anything related to purchasing. So for any supplier, so SAP has defined company code and purchase organization is important. If it is a customer, for example, if it is a customer, the vendor is the one who you are going to buy, right? So to maintain his information in the system, we need company code and purchase organization data. If it is customer, who is customer? You are going to sell, right? You have a product and you are going to sell to this customer. you're doing the sales with him, right? So for that you should have company code data and your sales organization data. And for HR team it is employees, right? Your company code and your HR department data will be there. So now if we come to our ECC S4HANA, in this S4HANA, SAP has given, there is one more concept, BP. So this is common for this area is common for vendor, customer, and even for employees. Okay. So at BP, first we need to create BP and we will assign vendor to BP. You know, right? For vendor we need to have purchase information plus company code information, right? For customer it is company code plus sales organization. Now we are talking about only vendors, right? Because material master, so vendor master data we are discussing. Now for us, first step is create BP group and create vendor account group. Okay, so first let's go and create BP group. We go to SPRO path. So BP comes in cross application components. Okay, within the cross application components you go to SAP business partner, basic settings. Okay, number ranges and grouping. Here you will define your number range for your BP. Okay, first step here is number range. Second, assign your number range to your BP group. Let's go into it. So go to number ranges, change interval. So pick one number. So for example I pick, let's say I pick ZL. Okay, it's already used. Okay, ZL I pick and assign this to your, okay, let's pick ZM. More numbers are there. Okay, and you go to instead of defining, because it is a test system, so instead of defining I'm taking one number range which is available. So go to define, where you assign your number range to your grouping, right? So here let's create one grouping ZB. Okay, BP. Okay, ZA BP business partner. Okay, and test ZB ZA BP. Just give one description, so same like this, and you assign your Z. You can see if you want, like I'm going to assign this ZM. Okay, save. So I have created my BP and I assigned number range to it. Now let's go and test it in the system. /n BP. So for for vendor creation, so person and group are not mandatory, so mostly these two are used by HR team. So click on your organization to create any business partner. We just created one grouping, business grouping, right? So this grouping only is going to control your number, business partner number. Okay, this one, enter. So you see this is one mandatory field. Save it and just fill all the mandatory fields for training purpose. So I'm not filling all the data, so save it. And you have got your number.